came to the session and she heard some principals speak and immediately said to the audience, I want all 1,000 principals on the priority list to have this kind of support. And then it's taken about, a long time since then. Well, it was November the previous year. So ultimately, in November 2014, we got a contract to support 66 principals in 66 schools around Gauteng. Some of you have the list. If you don't have the list, we'll make sure that you get the list if you're interested. This list of schools will be schools that we will support through the Partners for Possibility process. We're also working with the SABPP to make sure that we have for every school an HR person. We're going to work with SAICA to ensure that we have a finance person for every school. We're looking for, Microsoft is going to help us with IT support to these 66 schools. Because here's the issue. We have 25,000 schools in the country. 5,000 of them have the kind of support that's available to Parktown Girls High. There's a few accountants and some HR people and some IT people and some very, very qualified and experienced people involved supporting the principal. So the principal of those schools, these ex-Model C schools, typically don't do their own budget because there's an accounting committee or a finance committee. Then when it went to Richard's school or Jane's school, before they had access to Nina and Bob, it was all on Richard's shoulder, and it's all on many of the principals who are here tonight. So that's not fair. It's not fair that one principal gets to say to the budget committee, please sort my budget out, and the other principal have to spend nights and evenings to do this. So we're hoping that there are some people in the room tonight who are inspired and want to be part of it and want to join it. I did mention earlier there are quite a few. Can I just say, the people, the business partners who've signed up to be part of the 66 schools project is something that they're not quite sure what they're saying yes to, but they are. Big hand up like this, Mr. Craig. There you go. Thank you. So Nina, why should these business leaders even think about joining PFP?
Good evening to everyone. I think just to summarize my 2-year journey with Richard as a partner is impossible, and so that's the reason you'll have to go to page 36 of the book to read more. But I certainly think that I entered this partnership with a mindset, and that was around possibility. And just listening to Richard, I noticed that he mentioned the word possibility twice, because I think we've both just probably got it now as part of our DNA. But I think it was inspired a lot by Ben and Rosanna's book, The Art of Possibility, which I read shortly before joining the partnership. And what they highlight in the book is this opportunity where you can, and I'll read it, as you said, you place yourself in a world that Dave describes so eloquently, one where you're lifted away from the world of measurement into the universe of possibility. It's a framework that allows you to see all of who you are and be all of who you are, without having to resist or deny any part of yourself. So I think together with Richard and this notion of possibility, I think we started a journey together to unlock a world of possibility and using the Partners for Possibility framework to support and guide us, which just changed our world completely. I certainly anticipated a one-way learning process. I think that what Richard didn't mention today is the fact that I learned so much in this process as well, something that I wasn't expecting. I've discovered a leadership development program like no other, a coaching and mentoring program that was definitely two-way. And I just learned so much in the process. And what it opened up for me is the fact that I've learned about myself that I wanted to be part of the education system in some way or another, in whatever influencing way, supportive way, for the rest of my life. It meant so much to me and it resonated so much for me. And I've discovered many individuals. This process exposes you to people in NGOs, people that are driving an amazing passion to make a difference in education. And they're all doing their utmost best. But what I discovered certainly with the Partners for Possibility process is such a powerful intervention, and probably the most powerful that I came across in the past 2 years of being exposed. And it really has everything that it takes and everything it needs to make a difference in our education system, which is so challenged. And I think just in conclusion, something that resonated so much with me, I came across an actual poem during the partnership that at the time I thought, oh, maybe sometime in the future this might make sense, but certainly didn't have any appeal at the time. But I now feel that each and every statement rings true for me. It's my entire being, and it's how I choose to live my life every day. Some of you may have heard it, but it's always good to highlight these great poems, but it goes like this. We choose to delight in our diversity. We choose to be in love with the beauty of our land. We choose to believe that our children will inhabit a South Africa that's more whole, more loving, more caring, and more together, more equal and more joyful. We choose to make a small difference every day to someone with less. We choose to smile more, to be more productive, and to keep building. We choose integrity, and we choose to do the right thing. We choose to be tolerant, and we seek to understand more. We choose to have empathy and be kind to every person we share this country with. We choose to cherish our family and our friends, and we choose to have hope. And that's what this program's given me, together with Richard, is hope.
I do want to say something about Nina, which wasn't planned, but Nina has become one of the just most amazing advocates for the program within Nedbank. And I'm curious, Nina, and I'd like to just hear you say this in a larger forum, and specifically, so you went back to Nedbank and have been mobilizing all sorts of people around the organization. Why? Why have you decided that, because it's not the CEO who decided we as an organization are going to get involved, it's Nina Wellsted who decided, and now we've got 11, and there will soon be about 15 Nedbank people, probably more if Nina has a chance, who are getting involved across the country. So we've got Nedbank people in Cape Town, and Durban, and Pretoria, and Lepelale, and all sorts of all over the country. Why?
I think, it resonates so much for me, but what I discovered in discussions with staff and colleagues was that there are so many people that want to do something, and they just needed a platform. And this is not the platform to promote Nedbank and its position, but it certainly also resonates with Nedbank's overall and overarching position of being the green and caring bank. But in turn, what happens is staff start to adopt the same kind of philosophies around wanting to show that they care, wanting to be involved. And it wasn't hard to share the vision, to share the need in the country, and to find people that had the commitment, the time, the resources. I would love a bigger budget to get more people in it, which we don't have. It wasn't hard to sell the story. So, and when it's close to your heart and when you've been through the process, and that's what I think is hard if you're ever trying to sell something that you haven't experienced yourself personally, it's always going to be hard. But for me, it was a natural. It was a natural process, and I think people could feel and sense the passion through my experience, and I've been able to help and guide and support them along the way as well.